Hey guys, Lord here, back again with another action figure review, continuing our looks at the Transformers Studio Series Revenge of the Fallen Constructicons with Voyager class Rampage. And of course this brought to us by the fine folks over at Hasbro, but also he should be a little taller, but for whatever reason I can't find his fucking stand. I don't know what I did with the fuck thing, but the show must go on. I mean, hey, I got the fucking plate piece from scrap metal. What do you want for free? That said, this piece is quite significant when it comes to Rampage because, well, if you get the yellow variant known as Skipjack, why is he called Skipjack? I don't fucking know. But I guess Hasbro got a Hasbro and sell shit. So there you go. But this metal plate will snap onto Overload, like the kneecap area of Overload in combined mode, and kind of transition into the Rampage leg. You know, if you have the yellow one, it looks good. If you don't, it looks kind of out of place and weird. So why the red one came first, I don't know. Not for nothing, I did actually find it at Target, along with the... was it an Optimus Prime that came out with him? I want to say it was the Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime, but don't quote me on that. Some kind of Optimus Prime. And initially I kind of thought he was a Target exclusive because, well, he's freaking red, and Target's got the monopoly on that shit. However, he's not. He was available everywhere. He was pretty easy to find, and I think he even went on clearance for that price. So, fuck me, I guess. But before we take a closer look at him, gotta compare him to the other leg. Hashtag FootBros. We got Long Haul. Well, I think it's a way better figure, but that's because he's not a stick with arms, but that's just me. Not for nothing, he's pretty chunky. Wasn't Onslaught from, whatchamacallit, Last Night based on Long Haul? I want to say he was. Taking a closer look at Rampage here. He looks good. He's accurate to the one that fought Bumblebee in the Egyptian ruins, but not so much the one that formed with Devastator. So I ask you, why the hell did we get this one first? The red one should be Skipjack, the yellow one should be Rampage. That said, I might have to see if I can track a frickin' Skipjack down one of these days. Like, ugh. I really want the yellow bulldozer for my Devastator. And I neglect to mention this when we cover vehicle mode, but he does have the little pop-out wheels here. And then on his arms, they weren't popped out when I filmed the vehicle mode segment of this review. So my apologies for that. I just didn't notice them at the time. However, articulation is pretty weird, but he does have a neck hinge for what it's worth. Double ball peg in the head. That will pop right off, okay. That was really easy. I'll give it to Transformers. Kind of difficult to break some things. Than others, it's like, why was that so easy to break? But yeah, his head's not loose. It just pops off pretty easy. Interesting. Looks pretty gnarly in the face, too. Look at that. Shoulders will go out. I wish these were ratcheted, though. They will rotate. The rotation's nice and tight. He does have a beautiful butterfly, for what it's worth, which is nice to see. He does have a bicep swivel. Nothing in the elbow. I don't remember the old figure having anything like that. I do remember him having like spider legs, though, which is kind of neat. I wish they put that into this one. But he does have individual finger joints for these two fingers, his top fingers, as well as the little thumbs, question mark, down here. They will hinge up and down. But yeah, nothing crazy for articulation on this guy. But he does have some fold out whips. Just pull these tracks down and he's got his whips. I like these. These are cool. Due to the articulation, you can pose them pretty well. I'm kind of glad they're not rubber like the old figure. I don't know how my old figure's holding up sitting in my bookcase covered in dust, but hope none of those are cracked or whatever. That would suck. So I got that figure with the lovely Aunt Tammy, and it kind of has some sentimental value because of that. He does have a waist twist, which is nice. You can hear the ratchet for the ankle of Devastator in that. But he does also have like a dual ab crunch. Like you could scrunch him up like this. Oh, is that how his torso is supposed to go? I think it's supposed to be fully extended like this, right? Did I do something wrong? Let me see. I don't think it's supposed to be. That looks weird to me. This big old friggin' gut there, but either way, you can get him pretty scrunched up there if you want. He does have a port here, but I don't know what for. I don't know if that's for his stand or what, but at any rate, he does have his little pogo stick, boingy, 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 that folds out. It does have a peg hole for that stand that I mentioned in the beginning of the review. But there you go. That is Rampage in a nutshell. I really don't know if I'm missing a piece to his chest. Something feels fishy. If I find it before the Devastator review, I'll mention it, but I don't think I'm missing anything. I think everything is folded out and down and whatever, where it's supposed to be. So yeah, is what it is. But standing him up as best as I can without the frickin' base piece. I'm so pissed that I couldn't find that. That it wasn't just with him. What the hell, me from the past? You know nothing of storage? You fool! Just kind of scrunch him like that so he sits and leans and doesn't fall on his butt kiss. There, he's a little bit more even Steven that way. Before we wrap this up, let's bring in our two regulars. I think Legion's brother did a freaking sword in his crotch. Jeez. What is it with 4 Horsemen figures and their swords getting lodged in their crotches? That's some weird kinky shit that this channel does not approve of. We got the infamous Incurrent Element Spawn, who as usual towers over everyone, especially in this case because, well, Rampage is a dwarfed pogo stick because I have a freaking stand. Son of a bitch! So, with that being said, I think it is time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and despite the fact that good old Rampage here is not fucking yellow, yes, I know they released a yellow version of this mold and called it Skipjack, but the me of the past didn't know that before he dropped 30 bones on this guy, so fuck me, I guess. However, I'm going to say that despite his rather odd design, literally not even having legs, much like Scavenger from this assortment, who we will be taking a look-see at later this week, I think this is one of the stronger releases. For the most part, he is movie accurate, and while I am a little pissed that it's not the yellow version, there was a red version in the movie, because, well, Michael Bay is many things, but inconsistent is definitely one of those things. So, before we sign off, I think it is time now that we move right along and take a look at the vehicle mode. And as promised, here's good old Rampage in his handy-dandy bulldozer mode. Now, if this was the Skipjack variant, I'd feel a little, for lack of a better term, nostalgic, because I used to have some die-cast construction vehicles. I think they were Cat, but they were yellow with real rubber treads. This guy kind of reminds me of the bulldozer I used to have from those, but he is red, and, well, I'm not a fan of the red, at least when it comes to merging with Devastator. It's all we got right now. And I will also mention there is a spot for the stand he comes with under here to be stored. All you gotta do is pop these tracks up and you can tab it in. Again, I don't know what I did with that stand, so I don't have that handy here. What I do have is the Voyager class long haul. To compare him to, this is the other leg. I will say, for being legs, the ankle joints for Devastator's combined mode are a little loose, especially on this guy. But if you get the skipjack variant, that one's a little better. Long haul, I think they might have tightened it up for the Amazon box set, but don't quote me on that. You can kind of just push him along the floor, but he doesn't actually have working wheels. So that's a bit of a bummer. He can play peekaboo with you. His head's right there. But yeah, that's Rampage in a nutshell. Cool figure, but I feel like it falls short in some ways and does some other things pretty darn well. So, that being said, until next time, catch you guys later.